been 21 years since the D4 released their debut album, 620, and so it's time to party. Here's Dion to tell us about the new reissue, on vinyl of course, and reminisce about those good old days.
Saw that it was 21 years since the original release of the album, and just thought, being its coming of age, that we give it another little go. And I don't know, it just felt like kind of the right thing to do. Nothing's really been, we haven't really done a lot with that record since it came out. We haven't re-released it or anything like that, so it seemed like a good time to do that. And it did have a short run of vinyl originally, but we decided this time to, change the artwork a little bit. I just had some ideas with that and do some more in-depth liner notes and things like that.
Yep, yeah, because most of us who have it in this format.
Yes.
The beloved CD format from 21 years ago. So what did you do with the artwork, first of all?
I contacted Glenn Elliott, who took the original cover photo, and I wanted to kind of have it a little bit rawer and a little less sort of treated with the photos. So we kind of took the photo, kept it black and white. I think the original photo shoot was black and white. We kind of didn't sort of like saturate it so much as we did on that version. So it's a bit closer to the actual original photo. And on the back we put a kind of legendary shot from the night Alan McGee first met us or saw our band and took us on as manager.
Yep, very cool. So I mean, there's been a lot of people supporting you and help make everything happen. First of all, just reminisce, go back in time when you and Jimmy first met.
Okay.
What can you tell me about that?
That was a long time ago, I guess. I guess that was like early 90s we would have first met, when my first band, Nothing at All, was playing. His band, Cranking Dream, I think they were called it. We played together a lot, a bunch. We used to do like a lot of hall shows, like on the North Shore, and just all ages shows, and our bands played together, and we kind of met through then. And then towards the end of Nothing at All, I joined a band called the Snitches, and he joined a band with the drummer of Nothing at All called A Bit Off. So we kind of he kind of became part of the Frisbee leisure lounge scene a little bit. So we kind of hang out more, and that kind of it just from then I left the Snitches and formed the D4 with Jimmy.
Gotcha. And you mentioned Frisbee. That's Bob Frisbee. So you got two guys that we both know, Bob Frisbee and John Baker, who were pretty elemental in all of this as well.
Very elemental.
What did each of them contribute to the process?
Oh, well, I mean, I'm eternally thankful for them. I mean, they, between the two of them, they recorded the first song I'd ever written. They put on the first show I ever played at. John Baker managed Nothing at All. Put on a lot of shows for Nothing at All, organized a lot of tours. Bob Frisbee recorded the Nothing at All album. He also helped co-produce the D4 record, and sort of gave us a bit of a home base to kind of, create, I guess.
Yep. And both John and Bob are still going strong. I think John's got a band called Ratso with Jake in it. So the connection is still there. Have you seen it or heard anything that they've done?
Yeah, I mixed a couple of their songs, their first 7-inch actually.
Oh, cool.
Yeah.
Very good. So when you think of that time when the album was out and you guys were kind of on the way up, are they all fond memories? Do you sit there with regret? We should have done this, we should have done that, or were you pretty happy with the way things went?
I mean, that was probably one of the one of, if not the best times of my life. So
There you go.
I really do look. I got to do some amazing stuff. Travel. Basically make my dreams come true and travel the world playing rock and roll. And I got a lot of experience from that and had a lot of fun. There were good times, there were bad times. It was an intense experience, but I look at them fondly. Very fondly actually. There's in 2020 hindsight, I always think, oh, we should have done this, we should have done that. There's some very obvious moves we made that I think were mistakes. But they don't haunt me or anything like that.
Right.
A learning process.
Right, because I was reading your liner notes, and it seems like everything fell apart once you got signed to a major label. Everything was great until and then that you would think
not
that
really. I mean, the major label really did. Hollywood did an amazing job, and they were all really great people.
Right.
I really liked working with them. As I did Warner's and as I did Flying Nun.
Right.
I think they spent a lot of money on my band.
Right.
They got us like amazing TV shows to play on and stuff like that. But I wouldn't say it was their fault that the band fell apart, or the major label's fault. I think it was joint choices, and I don't really blame anything on anyone else but myself in some respects, because I'm the master of my own destiny, and I make my choices of what I'm going to do. If I'm not, if I don't want to do something, I won't do it. So, it's like, I had a part in everything,
Yep. So a lot of the sessions, the recording sessions for 620 took place at York Street, and you had Bob Frisbee, you had Andrew Buckton, and kind of working together or not working together. So tell me what the vibe was like in the studio with everybody.
The vibe wasn't great. The vibe was, I mean, every record the D4 made had quite a lot of tension between not the band and not so much even the band and the producers. It was more the producers and the engineers.
Right.
Yeah, they didn't really get along or see eye to eye. I think too many cooks in the kitchen a little bit, with differing ideas.
It was pretty basic rock and roll. All you got to do is turn it all up and let it rip, don't you?
Well,
what's to argue about?
you would think so. You would think so. I don't know, man. It's like it is basic rock and roll, but it's not even the egos getting involved. It's like people just do things a different way. If I was to redo that record, I would probably do it myself. To be honest, I don't know if I would use a producer, or an engineer. I listened to some of it. There's actually some bonus tracks.
Oh, good.
On that are going to be for download or streaming of pre-production, and I like some of that stuff a little bit more, to be honest. I think it sounds a bit more badass, which is what I always like. I like stuff dirty, and I like it rough, and I like it a bit more evil or something. I think sometimes pop producers like to clean things up a little bit, and I have no regrets. The record did amazing things, so that's that.
And it did indeed. I mean, one song I want to touch on was "Come On," because it's on the record. It's like the first D4 song, and I've read and people wouldn't realize maybe that it was a little bit inspired by James Brown of all people. So
I have no idea.
Everybody's talking, nobody's walking, hanging around and around. So come on.
I kind of discovered James Brown around that time. Like he really discovered him. Like I knew who he was, I knew his songs, but I got really into James Brown at that time because at a Christmas party, we played a James Brown all night long, and we danced for like 8 hours straight, and it kind of changed my. It was just amazing. I just loved it. I've always loved James Brown. I thought he's such a great, strong, confident performer, and Yeah, that bass line is the first thing I came up with of Come On. And I guess it's a white boy trying to be funky or something, and
Hey,
it's not very James Brown at all, but it's if you sort of isolate the bass line, it kind of bops
yep,
along a little bit more. It's not just your four on the floor, ding, 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 ding,
yep. I
Pops.
think I got a press release today announcing Bootsy Collins is on some big project that he's doing. Speaking of bass playing,
Oh, yeah?
so he's still pumping them out.
Oh, cool. Nice. Good to hear.
He's
to
a good
hear.
guy. Yeah. Now tell me, from what I understand, your first gig was in Raglan with Shaft and Mary, which are bands that still kind of float around. Nobody ever goes away in New Zealand, just as long as they're still breathing. So what do you remember about that?
God, I don't really remember the show at all. I have a feeling we were probably pretty underwhelming. John Baker put together the show. He gave us our name as well.
Right.
And we probably just had it. We probably played for 20 minutes, maybe something like that. We probably played Exit to the City. We probably played Come On.
Yep.
Those were the kind of first two songs we've got together. Probably a few covers. Don't really remember much. Yeah.
I was just watching your thing on Letterman with Bill Cosby was hosting the show.
Oh, yeah, Bill Cosby.
It's kind of a strange. Obviously, they didn't know what to do with you and Bill Cosby together. He didn't even introduce you. They just gave him some cards to hold in front. What was the experience like for you guys?
I think he was blind or something. I don't know. The experience was great. It was awesome. It was it was really good. Like it was we were in the middle of a tour, so we were like real confident and just like, it wasn't so nerve-wracking. We had our sound man ramped in with us. It felt like a real moment in our career for sure. I think Bo Diddley or I think Bo Diddley was supposed to do it, but we got his spot. Bo Diddley's helped me out a lot in the past, to be honest.
Bo's pretty cool. I've met him a few times.
I met my wife while watching Bo Diddley as well, live.
Right.
Yeah, so I got a lot to thank, and not to mention the whole rock and roll genre.
There is that.
But yeah, it was a fun experience, I think we did well. Yeah.
Yeah, you did well. And the other show you did with your first UK show, you had the Yeah Yeah Yeahs playing with you. I mean, that's pretty. Yeah, they're still kicking in one. They just put a new record out themselves a couple of days ago. So
they did.
What do you remember about that?
I remember that show very clearly. That was our first UK show. I made a lot of friends at that show, including the years and a lot of bands and people that I still see to this day. And that night was a great night. Both bands rocked a lot. And we partied really hard after that show with the years. And it was just, it was a great night. A little club in Tottenham, called the Metro, I think it was called.
Right. So at some point you must have realized that in order to do what you're going to do, you have to get out of New Zealand and attack the world. So did the band have discussions about that? Did you have like people advising you? Was it that organized?
No one advised us to do that. I mean, it's always been my lifelong dream to tour the world. Like, even when I was in Nothing at All and I went on my first overseas experience to London and stuff, not with Nothing at All, but just with my girlfriend, I was just dying. I went and saw some bands and I was just like dying to play, wishing my band was here tonight because we would just kill it. And it's just always been a dream of mine to go and tour the world. So we as soon as we got an opportunity to do so, we did. We just hopped on it, and that was through Guitar Wolf, really. I guess the first opportunity.
Yeah, Guitar Wolf. So I think the last time I saw you and Jimmy together was out of a house in Titirangi, like 4 or 5 years ago. Mm-hmm. So obviously everybody gets along and everybody, doing their own thing. So you're going to be doing some shows again. I believe there's a tour that's being announced tomorrow. So tell me what that's like for you and what you got to do to get up for it.
Well, it's I mean, we if we figured if we're going to put out the record, we might as well play some shows. It just kind of makes sense, It was fun playing shows. Last time in 2018 was a lot of fun playing those shows. You know, I'm going to be touring with my own band in Europe. We'll start next week for a month, and
Right.
then I do another tour 3 weeks before that D4 tour. So it's gonna be good because I'm gonna be running. You know, I'm gonna be playing a lot of guitar and singing a lot before that tour, which is gonna be great. It's always good.
Yep.
Yeah, it's gonna be awesome. I'm really looking forward to that tour.
Cool. And who's going to fill out the band this time around?
Same as last time, Beaver on drums and our original bass player Jake on bass.
That good old Jake. Yep, English
Yeah.
Jake. I
And
love him.
both those guys played on that record too. Beaver played on Get Loose and Jake played on Come On, I believe. And that
Yep.
yeah, those are the songs they played on for that.
Cool. So do you see this getting any bigger than that, or is this just like a dip in the past, a little nostalgia trip for you?
I wouldn't say it's I wouldn't say it's a nostalgia trip. It's just something fun to do. I mean, it's not part of any bigger plan, but it just, you know, like that last run we did, you know, the King's Arms was closing down. It just one of those things where it kind of just lights come on and go, this seems like a good thing to do. It seems like a fun idea. The time is right. You know what I mean? Same.
Yeah. Missed the King's Arms. It's just around it was just around the corner, and venues like that are important.
What's standing there now? Anything?
I haven't been bearing to look. I don't think there's like anything, maybe an apartment building or something.
Okay. They have knocked it down though. Yeah.
Yeah.
Cool.
So it's very depressing.
Yeah, it sucks.
But anyway, that's the way it is. All righty. Well, I can't wait to put the vinyl on the old turntable, the new version. Did you have anything to do with it's what, like 180 gram vinyl reissue thingy?
Yeah, it's 180 gram vinyl. It's on black vinyl. It comes with some liner notes that me and Jimmy wrote, a whole bunch of photos that nobody's ever seen before.
Cool.
Yeah, I think we worked really hard on trying to come up with something really cool. And I think we did.
All righty. Well, we'll see you when you come back and hit the road.
I'm looking forward to it, mate. I'll see you there. Yeah.
Betcha. All righty. Thanks a lot.
Thank
we'll
you.
See you.
See ya.
Bye-bye.